Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hearthstone's Ashes of Outland expansion is approaching, it's coming out on April 7th, and in this video I'm going to take a look at all the Paladin cards that are coming in the new expansion, as well as a bunch of theory-crafted decks for Paladin that Paladin might be playing in Ashes of Outland. I'm going to do the same for every class in the game, so if you like content like this, click that subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you don't miss the notifications. Paladin cards in Ashes of Outland are largely focused on this Libram package. This Libram package takes most of the Paladin card slots, there's not much else left. There's Librams. Libram of Wisdom, 2 mana, give a minion +1/+1 and death rattle, add a Libram of Wisdom spell to your hand. Libram of Justice, 6 mana, equip a 1/4 weapon and change the health of all enemy minions to 1. So it's kind of like equality, but it only affects the enemy minions. And Libram of Hope, 9 mana, restore 8 health, summon an 8/8 Guardian with Taunt and Divine Shield. And the thing about Librams is that you can make them cheaper, because there's Elder Attendant. Battlecry reduces the cost of your Librams by 1 this game, so any Libram, no matter how you're going to acquire that, it's going to be cheaper. Elder Truthseeker, Taunt, Battlecry reduces the cost of your Librams by 2 this game. So if you have 2 Attendants and 2 Truthseekers in your deck, you can discount these Librams by up to 6 mana. So Wisdom can be free, Justice can be free, Hope can cost just 3 mana. And in addition to this, there's the new Paladin legendary minion Lady Liadrin. Battlecry, add a copy of each spell you cast on friendly characters this game to your hand. So Libram of Wisdom, you're going to be playing many of those on friendly characters. By the time you Liadrin them, they're probably going to cost 0, so then you can just deliver some buffs immediately. Libram of Hope, you're hopefully going to restore health on friendly characters and not on enemy characters, so then you would get some Libram of Hopes, which could cost as little as 3 mana each. And the Libram of Justice is not targetable, so you can't get any of those. But so, Lady Liadrin, going to give you back some of these cards, Attendant and Truthseeker, making them cheaper. It's a package that takes a lot of space from the deck, but that's like what Paladin got now. Paladin did get 4 other cards too, although Hand of Adal, 2 mana spell, give a minion +2/+2, draw a card. Really good spell, by the way. Compare that to like Powered Shield in its unnerfed state. 1 mana, give +2 health, draw a card. This is 2 mana, give +2/+2, draw a card. Really solid cantrip. And also probably go into every deck where Librams and Lady Liadrin go into. The only remaining Paladin cards after that package are the Prime Minion, a weapon, and a 1 mana Murloc. So the Prime Minion is actually also probably going to into pretty much every Paladin deck. Murloc, 2 mana 2/1 Murloc with Divine Shield, so it's almost like a shielded minibot. But it also has a death rattle to shuffle Murloc Prime into your deck, which in turn is an 8 mana Murloc, 6/3 with Divine Shield, Battlecry summon 4 random Murlocs, give them Divine Shield, so it's instant board in a box. There's really no reason not to run Murger in every Paladin deck. It should be part of every Paladin deck, it's a great 2-drop. And then it has the upside of turning into Prime later on. Then there's the Underlight Angling Rod. Paladin is really lacking in 3-drops, so you might consider running this in non-Murloc decks as well. After your hero attacks, add a random Murloc to your hand. So you get a weapon, you get some resources, cool. And then there's the Imprisoned Sungil. 1 mana 2/1, dormant for 2 turns, when this awakens summon 2 1/1 Murlocs. That's useless, because when it awakens, it has summoning sickness, it can't even attack. You won't put that in any deck, ever. So Paladin got 9 playable cards out of 10. That's a pretty good ratio, but, well, Paladin was not looking good coming into the standard rotation, so are these going to help? Are any of these cards like Rogue's Galakrond, or Heist Baron Togwaggle, or Dragon Queen Alexstrasza? Is there a card here that wins a game for you? Well, Murger might sometimes, but even that's uncertain. Liadrin, yeah, that might sometimes too, but it's also a little bit uncertain. So Paladin might still be in a lot of trouble. Looking into deck lists, this archetype is what I believe will be the main Paladin archetype in Ashes of Outland. the pure Paladin with Librams. So you put in the Libram package, that already takes more than half of the deck, and then you fill the rest with some good Paladin cards. Use stuff like Lightforged Zealot, an excellent 4-drop. It's a true silver champion with a 4-2 body, what's there not to like? Then for curve topping, maybe you can use like one Lightforged Crusader. I hesitate to put in 2, even though these can also give you Librams, because getting a bunch of random cards isn't generally that effective, and also no taunt, no nothing, so it just doesn't win you the game nearly as much as you would hope it to. Same applies to Tyrion Fordring. I actually have opted not to use Tyrion in this list, because in the current meta, come on, 8 mana 6/6 with Divine Shield and Taunt. That just isn't what it used to be anymore. Paladin has a huge problem because it lost its viable 1-drops, so you can't put any 1-drops into this, like you have the Brazen Zealot, it's a 2/1, it's going to die to everything. Not great to use on 1, so you try to play catch up, you try to get sticky stuff on board from 2, on 3, hopefully you will be able to catch up to the opponent and then use the Librams and start to outvalue them. There's some potential for stuff like Libram of Justice, board clears with Consecration or with Avenging Wrath, Liadrin giving you a lot of Librams back, some swings with Librams of Hope, and with the Murloc Prime. But overall I'm not too excited about Paladin in this expansion, but I think this is what looks like to be the strongest that Paladin can offer. In addition to the Libram package, the only other stuff that Paladin got for support would be the Murlocs, but Murloc Paladin was already a deck where you tried to get the Prismatic Lens, and then you play the Prismatic Lens, you draw a cheap Tip the Scales, and that wins you the game. But now you can't do that anymore, because you don't have Prismatic Lens anymore, so you can only play Tip the Scales for actually 8 mana. For compensation you got some new Murloc stuff, there's Murgle, and there's the Underlight Angling Rod, and there's a new neutral Murloc as well, the Felfin Navigator. 4 mana 4/4 Battlecry give you other Murlocs +1/+1. And in this sort of deck where you can use neutral minions, you can also use Maiev Shadow Song, but if you choose a minion that goes dormant for 2 turns, so as an aggro deck you can take away taunts, you can take away whatever quick threats your opponent is trying to put up, and just make them go away for a while so that you can finish the job. However, I still don't think this is that great. Just losing that huge tempo swing from the early Tip the Scales is a big deal for the archetype. There would be some chances to make it a little bit more draconic, because there is Tasty Flyfish, there is Skyfin. This list, for example, has only 2 dragons, there's only the Scale Lords. Maybe you could add some more dragons, but as a downside, there are no dragons that really play well with Murlocs at the moment, so you don't have any really great synergistic options. So that's the other stuff that Paladin got support for, and that's everything Paladin has support for. You can play with Librams, and that will force you to play some kind of mid-range archetype, or you can play with Murlocs. And those are all the new cards you got. While building these decks I made many attempts to incorporate them with old cards. I tried to build Dual Paladin, I tried to build Highlander Paladin, I tried to build Aggro Paladin. But thing is, like Librams for example, they don't mesh well with Aggro Paladin, so you can't really get much out of that. Librams don't do well with Highlander Paladin because you want the full package, you want 2 copies of everything. Having just 1 of each just doesn't do the job. And there isn't anything really interesting to duel out for Dual Paladin. So yeah. Out of all the bad ideas I had for Paladin, this is the most promising one, but I don't think this is going to be that great either. Because this deck would make use of Dragon Rider Talritha, which is like a phenomenal value card really. 3 mana 3/3, Death Rattle, give a dragon in your hand +3/+3 and this Death Rattle. And that just means that you're going to be able to play big dragon after big dragon. I have tried to play Dragon Paladin in Descent of Dragons, it wasn't that great. For this new expansion you could combine this with the Libram package, because if you don't use the new cards then what are you going to do? So you put in the Libram package, you put in Murloc, that's a pretty strange group of bedfellows by the way. Dragon Rider Talritha, Murloc and Lady Liadrin. Well, who knows what's going on with Paladin anyway. But then if you don't build a pure Paladin, you could build some kind of mid-range Paladin like this, with dragons in it. Perhaps there should be Maiev in this. I'm not actually completely sure whether Freeze is even worth it. Maybe that should be Maiev. But be that as it may, this deck is just ultimately very, very fair. The only unfair things this can do is if you have an early Talrita, and then you're going to just play huge dragon after huge dragon, or if you get a really big swing with Lady Liadrin. And other than that, you're just playing extremely fair in a world that is unfair. And I guess that's quite definitive of Paladin as a class right now. You're just doing fair things in an unfair world, and that is not good for success.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.